All right, then we're gonna play a little automation and BeamNG. And I had a theory, a question, a curiosity. I had an idea. I wanted to make an Evo-ish, and well, from the front, it's not that Evo. If you squint, maybe from a ways away, it kind of looks like an Evo. From the back, I feel like I did an okay job. But anyway, the real interesting part of this whole process is that, so basically, the idea was just to replicate the Evo as closely as possible. I like the Evo 8, and also replicate the engine as closely as possible in the 4G63, which I did the Evo 9 version of. And I wanted to see how automation would play with a real-life engine design, replicated, as close as you can get. There's only so much you can do, but I wondered how automation and BeamNG would handle it. Let's take a look at the engine here. I already built it as well, stock 4G. Go ahead and select that, and let's just take a look. So now if I go over here, I looked up some information about the 4G63, and I tried to replicate it as closely as I possibly could here. The headline figures, the US market version makes 273 foot-pounds at 3,500 RPM and 271 horse at 65. I'm at 274 at 36 and 272 at 64. I got pretty damn close. The bore and stroke are 85 and 88 millimeters, which roughly corresponds to here, so the mass should come out to about 1997 cc, which does. Dual overhead cam, 16 valve, aluminum head at eco standard performance. I don't know, it's a fucking performance engine, so performance head. There's some spots where it's, what are you really gonna do? But the point is that we have here a 4G, and we're gonna make 4 different builds. We're going to do a stock Evo, which is what we're working on now. We're gonna do like a street tuned Evo where we don't really change out any of the parts. We're just gonna up the boost, maybe change the exhaust, that kind of thing. We're gonna do a full time attack build where we upgrade the engine further, we widen the wheel arches, we add aero, we put on slicks, we make a race Evo. And then we're gonna do a drag build where we put drag radials on it, set it up for the drag strip, and push this 4G63 design as far as it'll let us go in automation. I bet we can get it to make 1,000 horsepower. Stick around to find out. Now, I believe I'm correct in saying that the Evo 8 had a 5-speed transmission. Cool. Let's go Evo 8. Viscous limited slip. Okay, so I have to actually go back to here. Viscous all-wheel drive, and then it has limited slip diffs on the axles. Or yeah, helical limited slip diffs on the axles. Wait, no. From 2005 onward, an active electronically. Okay, would that be on demand or advanced? I truly don't. Well, it's not on demand, is it? It just it's not like the ones that are, because on demand to me says the cars that are like all-wheel drive in the sense that they're front-wheel drive until you lose traction. I don't think that's what this is. We're gonna go with advanced all-wheel drive because fuck it, we ball. Then we're gonna come in here and go with helical limited slip diffs, and we'll just stick it with 50-50 for now. Let's put on radials. We'll go with sports compound. I have no idea how wide the tires on an Evo 8 are. Stock Evo wheel is 17 by 8. We gotta go up a size. Stock tire size is 235. Okay, so we have to morph a little bit. There we go. That's all we had to do. 235, 45 R17. How do I do that? There we go. 235, 45 R17. Yeah, nailed it. That's fun. Honestly, I have no idea what kind of wheels it came with. I'm going with forged. Okay, you know what? Let's go autistic. What kind of brakes? Factory brake. The front brakes utilize a 4-piston caliper setup. Okay. A 2-piece floating rotor design. They don't appear to be vented. We're gonna go with 4-piston solid in the front and 2-piston solid in the rear. As for the size, factory brake. Damn! 13-inch brakes up front. 13-inch brakes up front and 12-inch brakes in the back. That's some monstrous brakes. God, I want an Evo so bad. Okay, from here I start to care less. I gotta be honest with you. So let's just go with, it's a rally car, off-road skid tray. Sure. Brake airflow. It probably doesn't need that much because it's got massive brakes, so we won't touch that yet. Seats, it's probably got like a bench seat in the rear. Evo 8 factory rear seats. Images, I can give it a look. I would consider that that's 2. If what I'm looking at is accurate, That looks like 2 seats in the rear. Interior, standard. Fucking standard CD player. I don't know. I'm trying to get through this build at this point. Traction aids, I would assume an attraction control. No, I think the Evos were actually pretty advanced at the time, weren't they? They had like stability control and shit. I don't think they had launch control. Safety, this would have come out in the 2000s, so standard 2000s. Springs, whatever. I don't care that much. I gotta be. I'm trying to get through this. 08. Generally 60-40, somewhere around. See, that's way too heavy for some reason. So we're gonna kind of ignore price and just yeet. Yeah, it's still too heavy. That's still too heavy. We're getting there. I just want to put it about at 3,000 on it. Doesn't get any lighter. Okay. Let's just put this at 0 then. I don't think this is true for the Evo, but I'm gonna throw fiberglass panels on it just to get the weight down. Oh, I got the weight down too much. Okay. 2950. That'll work. We will call that good. Weight distribution is pretty much 60-40, but we'll tick it forward to make sure it sits at 60-40. Let's go with sport preset. I cannot imagine it's dealing with brake. It's dealing with brake fade with brakes that big. Okay. Just brake airflow. Fuck it. Also, pretty sure Evos were not going this fast. Pretty sure they weren't getting to 60 that fast. Are we like, let me just make sure. 272 horsepower, but the game seems to think it is a rocket ship. 170 mile an hour top speed at 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. Is that right? Do I want Evo even more now? Dude, automation has it a full second to 60 faster. Nope. The US spec Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8 MR, introduced in 2005, achieved 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. Wow. Now, to be straight up with you, I do not know enough to know whether or not the MR was a version that had more power or not, and I didn't look into it just now. So, are the brakes are fine. Rear force is high. I see that. This is high. Now, let's uncamber these rears to try to get a little bit better handling. A little bit better handling characteristic. I think I'm just gonna crank the toe until it's like, hey, you're oversteering. Yeah, right there. I don't think I want to go past 2 degrees if it's not telling me that it's oversteering by that point. That'll work. It's definitely gonna be on the oversteer side of all-wheel drive. It just rides that oversteer line the whole way till it breaks loose. Let's check the aero. Yep, no, that's fine. I don't need it to make downforce, but as long as it's the rear is doing more to keep itself stuck than the front, then we're gonna be okay. I believe this is our Evo 8, our stock Evo 8, done. Yeah, ship it off to BeamNG. Evo 8-ish. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's clone Evo 8-ish, revise it, and we'll change the color each time for the sake of interest. Evo 8-ish, evolved. Yeah, it checks out. Back to the beginning, see if there's anything else that we want to change. I think so. I'll probably be fine. What we are going to do, existing variant, well, we just clone existing variant. Clone the yes variant. We will go tuned. Tuned, street, fast, stage 1, speed, zoom, Nismo. Oh. I'm an idiot, but it's fun. Why do you do that? I mean, it's fine now because I don't want to adjust any of this, but later I will want to. I just want it to be its own thing. Okay, so we're not going to change any of this. We can do cam, right? If we need to, we can do all this stuff. I just don't want to do anything with the bottom end. Yeah. That should be fine. Let's make cost a little bigger. Look at that. We got a whopping 1 horsepower out of 2 horsepower. Oh, you poor crank. Let's up the size of intercooler because I'm gonna guess we could get at least 400 horsepower out of this setup. Let's see what kind of power we can get without changing the turbo first. And if it's like, oh, we have to change the turbo, which it looks like we're gonna have to change the turbo, then we can, and we shall. Oh, timing is retarded drastic, and I'm drastically retarded. Fuck it, we're just, yeah, we'll lower this. Or can we just throw more fuel at it? Is that a thing that works? If I just chuck a whole bunch of fuel into the map? Hey! That'll work. More boost, not more boost. Yeah. We're gonna, this tune's gonna require a new turbo. And you know what? A fucking fancy one. A larger turbine to make, okay. Big turbo. Whoa! Brakes are showing slight brake fade. I bet they are. We've added significant power. All right, we got the tuned version up to 400 horsepower. It's running a much larger turbo now, so it's a lot laggier, but it makes good power. Now we're gonna make the rest of our changes, which frankly won't be many. We're gonna go with vented brakes just for a little bit of help stopping. We're gonna go with a racier suspension setup. Okay, yeah, and we'll call it good there. Oh, right, we forgot we were gonna change the color. We'll make this one like gunmetal. Yeah, why not? Export to a beam. Now, next version is the time hack version. This is where it's gonna start to get a little out of hand. You're gonna put carbon fiber body panels on it. We are going to add some more downforce. And we're gonna do that in a super dumb way that works. Unfortunately, the best way that I've found for front downforce it looks stupid, but it's the most effective way to get high downforce. And that's what we're after here. And in fact, I'll probably throw one on front of the rear wing back here just to be able to add more downforce that way, so hopefully that'll work. We'll widen out fenders to fit some fat slicks that'll probably cause the car to roll over during testing like it likes to do. So I would like to clone an engine, whatever, it doesn't. Variant name, I don't have another good joke. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna leave all this alone again. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna adjust the internals somewhat. We're gonna go with a heavy billet steel crank. We are gonna go with titanium conrods. We're gonna go with, how many revs am I gonna lose with forged heavy pistons? I'll still be able to rev it out pretty good. So we'll do that then. We are going to adjust, and we're going to do a compound turbo setup with smart boost, just so that we can always have boost for the track. And we have lots of rev headway here. This is going to be like the most interesting example for me. So we're going to go to the fuel system, and we're going to go with E85 power. We can swap out the intake manifold for a race intake manifold. We can swap out the headers and drop the exhaust pieces. Now, turbos are mad. Oh, the turbos got really... This is always the frustrating part of, like, I don't know how to fix this. Big turbo. That seems to be working. Big turbo. Add boost. All right, we got it sitting somewhat reliably at a nice 700 horsepower. We could probably push it a little further, but it seems to be happy right around here. Let me make it's a little bit bigger. 702. Like it stopped building easy power here, so that's where we'll leave it for the time attack build, because as it stands, it's like almost reliable, which is like race car shit. So listen to the 4G scream to 9,000 RPM. Wow. All right. We're gonna put a sequential in it, 6-speed. Limited slip diffs is still fine. It's gonna go over 204 miles an hour. That's ridiculous. These tires are plenty wide enough. I'm gonna put softs on it, and it's gonna tell me it wants to roll. It didn't. I'm impressed. Fuck it. Carbon fiber wheels. Actually, so here's the weird thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, we might have to come back and go with steel, because despite being heavier, the way that automation works is that with these soft compound race tires, if I put too much downforce into the car, it'll want to roll. And if you put heavy duty steel wheels on the car, it lowers the center of gravity and lets you run a little more downforce before it flips. It's dumb, but that's how it works. We're just gonna up the pad type, I think, until it's like, yeah, you're good, because race car, we're already making more downforce just off the back of being... Well, I didn't... Oh, right, because I put more... I stuck more spoilers on it. Race diffuser, downforce. It's gonna let me dial in a shocking amount of downforce. Thing. What if we just max out the front wing and then match it out? Is it just gonna let me do that? It's just gonna let me put 2,000 pounds of downforce into this car? This thing can drive upside down. That's absurd. Incredible. Okay, I wonder if they updated the game to kind of fix that whole flipping thing, because holy fucking shit. Also, race interior, no entertainment. I think like Evo race car, like 26-ish 100 pounds is probably somewhat reasonable. Yeah, let's go with that. I decided. Weight distribution. I mean, it's kind of got a big, heavy cast iron engine up front, so there's not a whole lot that I want to do about the weight distribution. Like, that's where I had the slider set, so it's like, that's probably where it should stay. But understeer is see problem. Yeah, it's understeering like crazy. Car's bottoming out a lot. I bet it is. Still bottoming out a lot? It's still bottoming out a lot. If you'll lift it, it stops. I don't want to do that. Fuck it. I don't care if it bottoms out. It'll be fine. We need to get more front tire under it. Okay, maybe we do have to do something about the distribution just for the sake of the handling. We put more weight on the back, it wants to handle a little better. So yeah, wait, actually we're gonna redo that because then the springs are gonna be weird weights. And we might need to just correct this with a bunch of toe. Doesn't say it's oversteering yet. Now it's oversteering. Honestly, well, here, let's go back up to 1.5 degrees of camber and then more toe so that it can still have that cornering grip in the rear. It's, I'm out of suggestions that I care about. Like, we're good, I think. 2.5 seconds to 60. It seems to be happy with the brake force where it's at right now. Oh, get rid of the back seats. It's a race car. It doesn't get back seats. Tends to oversteer. Little less toe. Once you remove the back seats, everything changes. Like, the weight distribution gets slightly better. The car is bottoming, so it's bottoming out less now. It's really gonna let me get away with, what is it, like 2,600 total pounds of downforce? That's ridiculous. It's gonna pull 2 G's in the corners. Evos are sick. All right, this one I am very excited to go drive. Ah, damn it, it's the same color as the last one. Sorry, I'll make it a different color in BeamNG. Okay, let's build the last build, the drag build. Go heck, drag build can be red. Yes, variant, even heard about it. 4G63. And we are just going to make massive power. Aluminum billet block. We're not fucking around with no cast iron anymore. Aluminum billet race. I think we're probably running. Should we go for less revs and more torque? We'll just leave these the way they are right now, and we'll go back. It's already doing a 9.7 quarter mile. And then we'll come back and deal with those if they need further dealt with. Quality sliders a bit, just because this is going to be a hand-built, race prepped, purposeful 4G63. The entire purpose of this one is to go fast. And it's gonna run methanol, nitromethane. It'll just run straight ethanol. 100% pure ethanol. All right, let's see what power. Turbo exploded. Turbos. The turbos exploded. Bigger compressors. And this is a drag engine, so I have no problems just running out the revs, running out everything, maxing out torque until it just fails. This is the kind of engine that you tear down after every pass. Just pure power. A little bigger on both turbos just to give me some boost headway before the turbos explode, because that's what they like to do. Some splody boys. We're running 47 pounds of boost already. By the time we're done with this build, it's probably going to be running 70 pounds of boost. We've hit 4 digits. Do I need to even bigger turbo? I need bigger turbine? I gotta be honest, I don't really know how tuning turbos in this game works. I just kind of move sliders around, and whichever direction makes power number go up, I keep pushing it that direction until it stops doing that. More boost. Less boost. You now drop the compression some more? Yes. Cam profile? There it is. I found the slider that makes the horsepower number go up. Bigger turbo. Is turbo being bigger help? Nope. Is turbo being bigger help? Yup. I just max out the size on that guy. I mean, it's helping. Making more power when I do that. Fuck it. That is literally the biggest turbo automation will let me put on the car. That's as big as it gets. Does that mean it's time for more boost? A little bit more. Come on. I want to see 1,200 horsepower. I want to see if we can get to 1,200 horsepower. The 0 to 60 time is actually getting worse. Because there's just would be so much wheel spin trying to put down 1,180 horsepower. More boost. Oh, come on. We can get there. We can get there. We can get there. If I make this turbo bigger. Oh, come on. Make the turbine bigger. Yes. No. If I make this turbine bigger. Yes. No. What if I add more boost to this turbo? Yes. Yes. More boost. No. I think we've about hit the limit of what the game will allow us to do here. I think 1,200 horsepower is about all we're gonna get. Maybe we can get a little bit more again by dropping compression again. A little bit. Maybe cam profile can again get us a little bit more. It wants it at the 10.6 that I set it at. 1,200 horsepower. Oh my god. The Conrods are crying for mercy. Everything else is not happy, but they can tolerate it. All right, the sequential makes sense for a drag car. I'll be honest, I really don't know what. It appears that sequential is the strongest, so yeah, why not? And they shift really fast, so give me another gear. I know usually drag cars have like 3-speed automatics or some shit, but fuck it. I also think I want to go to the back with the power split a little bit more, because then I'm gonna get the car to kind of, let's send 70, I'm ADHD, 70% of the power to the rear wheels, and put a little bit more rear wheel under it, and put drag compound tires. Here's 60 in 2.4 seconds. I truly do not care that it oversteers. Well, actually I do kind of care. It really shouldn't. Let's pretty much just drop the arrow all the way down, and we're gonna go with flow optimized for less drag. Steer a little bit, that's fine. We'll up the rear wing a touch just to keep the ass down. Then we'll tune out that oversteer. We'll drop these to like 35s so that it's still, you know, they can still put down a little bit of power, but nothing ridiculous. 5 seconds to 60 really feels, I mean, I guess that's on a non-prepped surface, so I guess that makes sense. Arrow is fine as is. Now what we're gonna want to do for this, I believe, is for one, just straighten out the camber. I want my contact patch. I want everything nice and straight. Don't need to worry about corners. Not concerned with them. Just put the power down to the pavement. Then I think on the rear, we want to go like a good bit harder. And then like I don't want to go anything completely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that's how drag cars are set up, right? Really stiff springs in the rear, really soft ones in the front. So you kind of get that moment where the inertia sends all of the weight to the rear axle, and the nice stiff springs in the rear really give it grip for the launch. The 0 to 60 time doesn't seem to give a shit. How fast are you gonna go? 260? 266. 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. What's the quarter mile time? Just do this real quick because I'm curious. Oh, you know what? It doesn't have launch control. I need to give it launch control. 8? It's an 8-second car. Yeah, I need to give it launch control. Is that gonna change it? Yeah, 8.97. I give it launch control. 9.05. Oh, okay. Let's test it in Beam. Oh, I forgot to change the name. Okay, let me change the name real quick. Oh, 8-ish. Yes. Oh, all right, let's go drive it. All right, here we are in BeamNG Drive, and let's do a time trial. Test out these cars. I like long race circuit 1. Give me that long back straight. 1 lap. No rolling start. Morning is fine. Select not the simple NG cars, even though they are very. Let's start with the stock guy. How do you drive? That sounds terrible. Just rev the snot out of it. Actually, hang on. Restart again. I think I'm gonna do all of these. Why does it drop it from a great height? Why do you keep slamming my car into the ground? What is going on with my vents? Okay. It kind of looks like an Evo. It vaguely resembles an Evo. And you know what? I don't know how to fucking design it. Why did you... Okay, fine. I guess we're doing realistic. I don't know why it shifted straight away. Yeah, we're gonna deal with some synchronizer damage because I'm not clutching. I refuse. Oh, brakes are present. They're not gonna fade, but they're also not spectacular. But so far, yeah, this car's pretty fun. With the, at least the first two, oh, running wide. Shift! Let's see what it can do on the main straight. Well, past 100 with no problem whatsoever. Shouldn't be a problem. Makes 272 horsepower at the crank. I think Automation was saying it's making like 240 at the wheels. Just decent horsepower for a car that weighs under 3,000 pounds. And stop 500 mark, 500 mark, 300 mark, I don't know. It wasn't a half bad corner. Definitely a third gear car. Like a lot of the corners, you know, you come in at, oh no, I overshot it slightly. You know, you come in at the top of third gear and you exit at the bottom of third gear. I feel like these are gonna be, yeah. Oh, running wide. Doesn't have quite as much grip as I keep expecting it to. There we go. 2 minute 9:35. I don't know, the other thing said 38. Oh no, our Evo, it's broken. All right, let's try out the tuned version. Evolved, right, I call it the evolved. This is what I want in purple. We're gonna see how much faster it is than the stock one. I assume, just because this version doesn't have the chicane and it's got a long back straight, the answer is going to be a lot. Somewhere at my old place, I have a piston from an NHRA top alcohol dragster. Pretty cool. They're like not piston shit. The compression on those things is crazy. Like the actual like head of the piston, it's like fucking, it's a triangle. No, you bitch. Actually, that might work. Yeah, fine. We'll go with that. A little bit of traction control for the 400 horsepower version. It's quicker. It's noticeably quicker. The stock one seemed to kind of poke its way through third gear. You know, you really had to run out third gear for a while, whereas this one kind of flies through third gear. Although you do have to brake noticeably earlier because you're going noticeably faster. Oh, I don't know if I did that this time. Actually, I fucking nailed that. All right, let's see what 30 pounds of boost gets you. Oh, it gets you understeer. It gets you understeer. It gets you understeer. It gets you understeer. It gets your alignment fucked. It gets you a restart. Did it also make the wheels purple? It did. That's funny. All right, we're gonna slow down a little bit more and a little bit earlier. Make sure we hit that apex. We got enough power. We don't gotta push that corner. I believe the stock version hit about 150, which seems generous. Like, I feel like that's faster than the real one would go, but maybe I'm wrong. And this one, not that much faster. It got there quicker, but I feel like it kind of ran out of, oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. It was fine. I'm not restarting for that. I don't care that much. It's not we're not going for an absolute amazing lap time. We're going to compare different versions of this car. And you know what? That's a good comparison. It's got better power, but it doesn't have better grip or brakes, so brake sooner. Kind of cheated those corners a little bit. Whatever. And it looks like 130 horse buys you about 4 seconds? About 4 seconds. Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's a lot. You know, you're not gonna keep up with the stock one. Especially once you get that back straight, coming out of that corner, he's just gonna dog walk you. But now it's time for the ridiculous one. Where are you? There you are. Let's see how this thing goes. Think I'm gonna keep traction control on for this one. I'm gonna put it on sport and just leave it there. The crunch. Put that on. God, that sounds fantastic. Oh, it's overheating. It immediately, the coolant started overheating. Also, dear, oh my God, the brakes. Oh, this thing's gonna be fast. I mean, as it should be, it's a major step up. You know, went from fucking stock Evo with a bigger turbo and a tune to literal race car that shares almost nothing in common with the base car except for the engine block. But damn. Also, those fender flares look good as fuck. Let's see what kind of speed it's gonna hit. I feel like I'm gonna slow down more than yep, it could just eat that corner, bro. 160, 170, and I don't think I'm gonna have to brake any sooner. That's the crazy part. I think if I brake here, still perfect braking point. Perfect braking point. Because this thing is absurd. This thing has 4 doors, by the way. Just like to point that out. 4 doors. Every single corner, I feel like I brake too late, and then I don't. That's like the most remarkable part about this thing is the brakes. Like, you just stop. It would be less painful to hit the tree you're heading toward rather than stop. 25 seconds faster. Holy shit, that's crazy. That's so fast and so fun. All right, let's test out. These are a bunch of other mods that I uninstalled. Let's see how the Evo drag car compares. I believe the top one was like a kind of Civic-ish build that I made. So let's see if the Evo can beat a Civic. All-wheel drive swap Civic, but a Civic. 11, and I believe this is at the wheels. So it's measuring 1,194 horsepower at the wheels. Let's see it. I'm gonna turn traction control off. I wonder if it's gonna do a wheelie. That might be a problem. Like, if the suspension setup we gave it works well enough, it might wheelie on a prepped surface. All right, let's see it. No traction control, don't need it. Max revs. Okay, we are going to need to make some adjustments. So let's try that. I want 2-step active. That does make it start to overheat. Oh, and it bogs down. Okay, let's go with like 9,000 RPM. We have to figure this out, guys. Is that first run not what you wanted? That bounce is stupid. So I think maybe if we 500, that bounces more. 8,000. It bogs down and bounces. So do we need to? we may have tuned a little too much suspension into it. What if we just go to like 9.5 grand and fucking let it eat? I think we're gonna have to deal with the bounce. I think the best thing that we can do is just wait until the last second to rev it out to hopefully avoid overheating it too much. Dear God, the bounce. But that did help with the overheating a lot. So now it's just pulling. Crossed the line at 180 miles an hour. An 8-1. It didn't break into the 7s, but an 8-1 is a solid pass. Let's try it with 2-step off and just bouncing off the limiter. I feel like that was slower. No, it was a tiny bit faster. Yeah, we learned something. Don't do that suspension thing I did, because the car just hops a little bit before it takes off. It might have been up in here, you know, had it not been for that hop, but oh well. But yeah, that overheats so fast. Is there a way we can do a race? In case you were wondering, the Time Attack version still does a sub 9-second quarter mile. Why am I already going? I'll just wait. You guys go ahead. You're gonna need the head start. Let's put this on sport and let's go catch him. I don't even know this track. I just know this car has absurd grip and really good brakes. See ya. And I'm winning. I believe this the long straight now on the automation test track. Yes. Yes. Can I take this flat? I'm gonna try. Oh yeah, no problem. Where? Oh, now, brake now. Brake now. You brake immediately. Oh. Missed it. I think the robotically consistent test driver in automation's a bit better at this racetrack than I am. Also, that was 1.7 Gs through that corner. That was the first time I paid attention to that G meter. That 2.3 Gs. That's like Formula 2 shit, I feel like. That's definitely like Le Mans Daytona prototype shit. Wild. All right, thanks for hanging out with me while I goof off with cars, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Later on.